Hi, everybody. Let me move to the agenda for today. So, I am Maddie. First, I'll start with a little introduction about myself. Then, we will ask a couple poll questions to get to know you guys a little bit. Then, I'll talk about how I'm sure many of you know Autodesk is transitioning to named user licensing rather than the old network licenses. And then I will get into the Autodesk account portal, give a little demonstration, and then we'll discuss some common issues that we see our customers having. So a little bit about me. My name's Maddie. I am an application engineer at KETIV. I recently graduated in May of this year from Penn State with a degree in biomedical engineering. Then a few months later, I started working at KETIV. I'm part of the support team for KETIV, so I've probably interacted with the majority of our customers. Okay, so I'm going to do our poll question first. So yeah, we're just asking what your role is within the Autodesk account portal. Some of you may not know, that's okay. Okay, so got the results here. It looks like a majority of you are the primary admin. We got a few secondary admins, some users, and some who have no idea. That's all right. I'm going to go over that today so you guys can understand more about the different roles within the portal. So that's good to know. And then I just had a quick little question that I wanted you guys to, if you want to answer it, you can just throw your answer in the chat or the Q&A. So I wanted to know, what would you like to learn more about in the Autodesk account portal? So I'm going to go over a majority of things today, but if there's anything specific that you want me to focus on or cover, just let me know so I can make sure I hit on those topics. Okay, so I'll check the chat and the Q&A periodically so I can see what you guys want to hear more about. I'm going to move on for now. Okay, so like I said, Autodesk is moving away from network licensing and toward named user licensing. So what this means is we're retiring the old serial numbers and server method, and instead we're assigning each user to a subscription that's going to be based around their email. So why is this beneficial for you guys? First of all, it allows you to have either dedicated or flexible software access depending on how your users use their software or how your company works. I'll get it more into the difference between flexible and dedicated software access later. So also this new named user plan, it allows you to view your usage data so you can optimize licensing costs, and it helps you just make more decisions later on how many licenses you actually want to purchase or renew. And then lastly, you don't have to deal with network servers or serial numbers anymore. It is all username based, so no more servers, which I love that. Being part of the support team, the servers were a little bit hard to deal with sometimes. Okay. So then this is all that I'm going to go over today, the majority of it, unless you guys have any other requests that you'd like me to go over. So first we'll start with the user management section in the Autodesk account portal. I'll show you how to add and remove users, assign licenses to those users, and then also we'll touch a little bit on teams and groups and how we can use those to assign licenses as well. There's also a billing and orders section in the account portal. This will show you your subscription and contracts, which I will go over a bit. Then we have the products and services section. So this is for more the end users. This is where they will access their products and updates to install them. This is also where you can do custom installations. And then lastly, we have the reporting section in the portal. This is where you will see your usage reporting and you will be able to manage your Flex tokens. Okay, so now I'm going to jump into the Autodesk account portal here. Minimize this. Okay. So whenever you first log into manage.autodesk.com, this is what you're going to see. This is the home page here. If you happen to forget everything that we go over today, there is this handy dandy 2-minute video here that tells you how to get started in your Autodesk account. It doesn't go over everything, but it touches on the most important topics. The other helpful thing on this homepage here, you can see our subscription expirations that are coming up. So that's helpful to see. Okay, so first I'm going to start with the user management section on the side here. This is going to be for our CAD managers or our IT department, mostly the primary and secondary admins within the portal. So first I will show you how to add a user to the portal. Pretty easy. So we'll go to By User, Invite Users, and there's one of two ways that you can do it. You can invite single, which you just input their first, last name, email address, and if you are using groups, you can select which group you would like to add them to, and you would send the invite, and that will send an invitation directly to their email address that you input here, and it will prompt them to create an Autodesk account. The other way you can do it is you can create an Excel spreadsheet. If you have a lot of people that you're trying to add to the portal, I would definitely recommend doing this option. You just follow this format and then upload the Excel sheet here and then mass add them and invite them to the portal. Okay, so then I want to go over how we're going to assign licenses to these users. So there's 3 different methods you could use to do this. So we can either do by user, by product, or by group. So I'll start with by user. Say I want to assign a license to Adam Board here. He works at KETIV. So I would just click on his name like I showed you. And down here, I can see all of the products that he is already assigned. I can see the products that he's not assigned. If I wanted to assign him to this media and entertainment collection, all I need to do is select assign. It's pretty easy. Then we will go to by product here. So this is helpful because it shows you exactly how many seats you have available to assign of each of your products or collections. So we can see I have 24 seats available of the AEC collection. So if I wanted to assign somebody to this collection, I can click on it and I can actually already see who's assigned. Then if I want to add more people, I can assign users, click here, and then it will show me all of the people that I have added to the portal, and I can pick and choose who I want to assign access to this product. And then lastly, by group. So I've seen that companies who have different divisions or locations, they will use teams and groups to manage this. So say you have a location in California for your company, then you also have a location in Pennsylvania. You would have the Pennsylvania team here, the California team here. And then within each of those teams, you can separate by groups. So if you had a group of engineers who are only going to be using Vault, you can create a Vault group. And then if I were to select this group, I can add users by selecting add users, and then I can mass assign them a product. So you can see they're assigned the product design and manufacturing collection. If I wanted to assign all of them at once, okay. So next I wanted to touch upon the different roles within the Autodesk account portal. So if I click on a user here, I can see his role. So he is a secondary admin. Now, what does this mean? If we click on change role, it actually gives you a little breakdown of what each of these roles is able to do. So we see the primary admin is essentially the same as the secondary admin. The only difference is they're the main point of contact for this Autodesk account. But they can each add users, change roles, assign access to products and cloud-based services. So if you want to add you can only have one primary admin, but you can have as many secondary admins as you want. So however many people you need to be able to add users, change roles, assign access to products, you can add as many as you'd like. And then the user is the other thing that we often see. So this is just for end users who are not going to have access to this user management section here. They would only have access to the products and services section. Okay. So next I want to go over on the left here, the products and services section. Like I said, this is where end users are going to come. So let's click on all products and services. So this is going to show us where we can access all of the products that are assigned to a particular user. So I can see that I am assigned each of these products. So if I wanted to, I could install all of them. So I will give an example. Say I want to install AutoCAD. So let me hit view details. So you can choose which year you would like to install. You can also change the language in here. And the other thing within here, you can access the updates as well as plugins and different language packs. So there's a couple of different ways to actually install. You can just click install, or say you were having trouble, like an error was occurring whenever you did just install. You can click this little arrow here and do download instead. It's going to take you to the same place. It's going to install AutoCAD, but sometimes we found if install doesn't work, download will work. Okay, so then the other thing we can see in here, which is helpful, is the product updates. So up here, some people don't realize that this is up here. So you actually, if you haven't updated your products ever, you might need to change this to all so you can see all updates. But if you have updated your products recently, you might just change it to the past 30 days and you can see the most recent updates. And from here, you can, again, download your updates. Okay, and then one other thing I want to touch on in here is custom installations. So not everybody is going to want to do a custom installation, but I will show you what it entails. So I would click on custom install, and I would go to create new. Okay, so say I want to install AutoCAD. I would click on that. And then here I can see, I would choose the version here that I wanted to install. And then additionally in here, I can make some more customizations. We can increase the security. If I want to make it high security level, I can do that. If I want to add trusted locations, I can do that. If I want to only have certain domains that I trust, we can go ahead and change these if we wanted to. We can also add some, and these will be all of the trusted domains. And then the last thing that I see a lot of people make use of is this access to online resources. So some of our government users don't necessarily have access to internet. So a lot of times they will use custom installation and uncheck these. So then they won't have access to these online resources. And additionally, like with the other installation method, you can choose a language pack and plugins if you would like. Okay. Oh, and then one more important thing. Before you do any of this, you want to choose the license type. So what we've been talking about today is named user, which is this Autodesk ID, which is where you will sign in with your email and password. The method that Autodesk is moving away from is this network license. And then serial number, this is the old perpetual license, which if you have a perpetual license, you probably know what I'm talking about, but these are no longer available to be purchased. So yeah, just make sure you choose which license type you want whenever you're doing a custom installation. All right, and then next I would like to show you guys this billing and orders section. So this is very helpful to see exactly when your products are going to expire, so you can keep track of when you need to renew next. You can also see each of your contracts and which products you are subscribed to within those contracts. And then additionally, you can see how many seats you have for each product. So that is very helpful. The other thing, if you're using teams, this is where you can see how those are separated. So for the support team, we have these 3 collections. And if I go to our Fusion and Vault team, they have Autodesk Vault and Fusion 360 Manage. So from within here, you can see either all teams or you can divide it up by teams. Okay, and then lastly here, I want to go over this reporting section. So we'll start with insights. So this is a new thing that has been added for standard users. It was previously available for premium users, but just recently it became available for standard users. Now this is really helpful. For one, you're able to see all of your inactive users. So this can help you figure out how many licenses you aren't using, how many licenses you want to purchase in the future, so you're not spending more money than you need to. So if I click view inactive users here, it will take me and show me all of my inactive users. So we can see Andy has never accessed the media and entertainment collection. So in the future, I might either unassign Andy to this collection, or I might realize I bought too many licenses and I don't need this. So next time I'm not gonna purchase as many licenses. So it's a good way to help you manage your licenses and save money in the long run. Okay. And then if we go to, so here's the other tab here is seat usage. This is pretty self-explanatory. We can see how many users are using the PDMC collection. So we see that we have 25 users for the PDMC collection, 19 for the AEC, and 2 for the media and entertainment. And then here I can see I actually only have 53 of my 100 seats assigned. So this will be a clue to me that maybe I need to either purchase less seats in the future or assign more users. And we can break this down by product or by user. Just gives you a quick overview. And then by user, we can actually see the frequency at which each user is using their license. So we'll go down. So to me, we can see I have been using the AEC collection. Yeah, it's just a good way to manage what all of your users are doing. And then lastly, I said I would touch upon the difference between flexible access and dedicated access. So we go to cloud services usage here. It says we're replacing cloud credits with flex tokens. So what are flex tokens? Basically, they are going to be used for occasional users. So you buy tokens to access a range of Autodesk products, and then you use those tokens to access any product available with Flex for 24 hours at a time. And you can assign as many users as you want to Flex, and you can manage which products they can access. And then in comparison to a subscription, with a subscription, it's better for more frequent users. So you can buy subscriptions to specific Autodesk products. So then you can use the product as often as you would like, during the subscription term, and you can assign each subscription to a specific user and reassign them as often as you'd like. So that's just the brief overview of the difference. And within this page on the Autodesk portal, we can see that KETIV has a couple contracts using Flex tokens. We can see we've used 235 of our Flex tokens. You can also see how many users are using these Flex tokens. So we only have one. Okay. One last thing I wanted to discuss while we're in here. So back to the roles, I wanted to mention this. So in terms of the secondary admin, I know a lot of KETIV customers have a customer success manager, your CSM. If you do have a CSM, we would recommend that you add them as a secondary admin within your portal. Why would you want to do this? It's helpful not only for us to better see how your teams are organized, how your company works, but the CSMs can also help you out by tracking your usage and ensuring that all of your recently purchased licenses are getting assigned. And we can also help you save money by pointing out any license redundancies or duplicate assignments within the portal. So if you have a CSM, I would recommend adding them as a secondary admin, since you can add as many secondary admins as you'd like. So let me jump back to my PowerPoint. Sorry. All right. So one other thing I want to discuss are the common issues that we see within the Autodesk portal. Since I'm part of the support team, I often deal with these issues, so I can attest to the fact that these happen. So we often see that newly purchased licenses will automatically get added to the newest team or will create an entirely new team. So we get a lot of support cases where customers have lost their licenses. So what I would recommend is, if you purchased a new license, you can't find it within your Autodesk account portal, check the teams, see if a new team has been added and a license has been assigned to that team. And then additionally, if you've also lost a license, the other thing to check is the contract manager. So the contract manager is who is going to be the primary admin within the Autodesk account portal. They will always be the primary admin. So if the contract manager / primary admin wasn't previously assigned any licenses, they may not be an end user or anything. If you buy a new license, the new license will get assigned to the contract manager. So that's one thing to check if you have lost your license. Okay, and then let me check the Q&A real quick. So somebody asked, do users install product updates and upgrades through this portal? And if so, does each user need a unique login to this portal? So yes, let me jump back to the portal real quick. Okay, so like I showed you, whenever you add a user, whenever the primary admin or secondary admin invites a user and inserts their name, last name, email address, send invite, that invitation will be sent to that user's email. The user will then open that link in the email and it will have them come to the manage.autodesk.com and create their account. And then they will be able to log in to this portal here. But if they're only an end user rather than an admin, they're only going to see this products and services section here. And this is where they're going to want to go and click on to access their products and install, download, as well as install their updates. And they can see all of the updates that they have here. So I hope that answers that question. Okay, good. All right, let me jump back to the PowerPoint. So I just wanted to do a quick review of all that we've gone over. So I talked about how Autodesk is transitioning to named user. That's been going on for a while now. I believe the transition will be complete in February, and that's when you'll no longer be able to um, purchase a network license. It'll be primarily named user. And we talked about how to get started in your Autodesk account portal. And then lastly, we touched upon some common issues that I personally have seen customers deal with. So next, I just want to so if anyone has any questions, please ask. I'd be happy to go over anything with you guys. I know the Autodesk account portal is new to a lot of people, so it's understandable if you have any questions or don't know how to do something in there, just let me know. And if you'd like me to go over anything again, you can also let me know. So somebody said we're a team of 5 users. Is there anything we need to update or change our current setup? So, I mean, I guess it would depend. Are you using named user licenses right now, or is it a network license? Okay, well, you can always, so if you would like to discuss this a little bit more like one-on-one, we can. If you want to email right here, support@ketiv.com. I will see that email and I can reach out to you and look a little bit more into your questions so that I fully understand your situation. I'd be happy to do that. Just shoot us an email or call us, whatever works for you. Okay, are there any other questions? Okay, if there are no other questions, then let me flip to the last slide here. All right, so that is all that I have for you today. Thank you guys so much for joining. I hope this is helpful in getting you started in your Autodesk account portal, and definitely tune in to our KVA next week. Thank you guys.